Good morning. We're back at the home site out here in beautiful western North Carolina, Hickory Nut Gorge. There's Chimney Rock in the background. And we're going to talk about pre-pour on the concrete. For the upper level, we've already talked about K-wall, precast concrete walls, superfloor USA floor systems for poured concrete, polished concrete floors. Hydronic radiant floor heating from Radiant Tech, radianttech.com, and what we're doing here with our home. So we've had a lot of issues with the radiant floor heating in the depth of the pour, 4 inches, you can see here. We've talked about in other videos. If we pour the 4-inch deck that was supposed to be poured, which would be at the level of the wall height right here to the troughs in the pan, that's a 4-inch pour. We would only have about less than 7/8 of an inch over the top of the pecs where it crosses the floor joists. So nobody was okay with that because they thought that it would show spidering between the tubing, and that's pretty much a main hallway coming into our kitchen area. So bunch of brainstorming between the GC, the Superfloor people, and the K-wall people, and we have come up with a pour over for the wall system. So this area of the floor here, the 10-inch wall top, normally the Superfloor or the K-wall would sit right on top of this for the second level, but because of the flooring issues, we're going to add this ledger board here, which is 1.5 inches thick by 1 inches wide, and we're actually going to leave that in place after the pour so that between the two levels of the house we'll be able to mount a molding to it or something. And they'll be pouring 1.5 inches over the top of this with reinforced, they're going to reinforce this with a rebar pieces. The K-wall is going to take care of that for us. So on the day of the pour, we'll actually have 5.5 inches of concrete, which will put us at about a little over 2 inches above the pecs, which everybody is happy with, including us. One of the other issues that we were having was we're not doing any type of flooring in our home except for the polished concrete. So one of the issues was the showers. We don't have any tubs on this level except for a vanity tub basically over there in the primary bath, which is a wet room. So we just want linear drains and sloped to the shower drain. So we're pouring the showers at the time of the concrete pour. There's going to be no coming back later and pouring these because it's going to be the same concrete that's poured everywhere. So we are having somebody come in that is going to slope this during the curing phase of the concrete to the level of the drain, which I have here. So I have the drain set. I'm going to trim this down so it's below the concrete. This is so that I can access the drain after the pour if I ever need to change it. So I have the feet done so I can adjust the feet depths. The concrete will pour around this, pour up to the level of the height of the drain, and then the person is going to slope that from here to the wall, from here about 2 inches out, and from the back side of the drain 36 inches out. So in order to make that happen, we had to have basically a 5/8 inch slope per the 1/4 inch per foot code. So what I came up with on how to do this, the height of the concrete is going to be the top of this 1.5 inch board all the way around, which is actually going to be 5/8 inches higher than the level of the drain, which is the line on this 2x4. So if we take the level to the top of the board, to the top of that line, we get level. So to make this work, when they pour the concrete, they're going to have to manually hold this in place, the 2x4 in place, pour the concrete all around, level the PVC pad, which was a requirement of code. Then once the concrete begins to cure off and can be manipulated, they're going to come in, remove this, and then remove the concrete material that needs to be removed in order to make the slope needed to the drain. We actually thought this was going to be easier, but it is definitely not. I'll have videos after the fact. We're keeping our fingers crossed and our prayers going that this works, because if it doesn't, it's going to be very costly in order to basically have somebody come in and grind down the slope, which we don't want to do. So once the concrete is poured, I'm going to trim this around the drain. This is around the feet, so that I will be able to remove the drain box for the linear drains on both showers, actually all 3 showers, in case something happens or we replace the drains, you have to fix something or whatever. So what I did on the drains was I added a yardstick, a wood yardstick I got from Ace Hardware, and I taped it to the outside, which it's about 1/8 of an inch. So there'll be 1/8 of an inch grout line, but I'm not going to grout it, it'll actually be silicone, that when I remove the drain, I'll be able to access the drain through here, access the feet to adjust the height to level, and then I'll be able to silicone around the whole outside to seal off the drain, to make the drain waterproof. Way more involved than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be something simple, but it's not. So the finisher that we have for the concrete is going to have to remove the amount of concrete needed to make the slope. So we are hoping that that happens the way it's supposed to happen. We did the exact same setup for the drain and the primary bath. Over here. Same exact setup. So when they come in and pour the concrete, they'll pour the concrete to the level of the black line on the 2x4, which will be level with the outside line over there. Once it starts to cure off here, they'll remove the 2x4, slope the drain out 36 inches, 2 inches on either side, 4 inches in the back. And that should work. And then after the fact, we'll finish the concrete and waterproof the concrete. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're hoping gets done. It's been a long time since we're the first residential home in Western North Carolina to utilize the Superfloor system here and the prefab concrete walls together. Actually, I don't think anybody's used Superfloor in North Carolina before. This is the first time, so even the inspector had a lot of questions for us. So we'll let you know how it goes. After the pour, I'll take some more video and we'll show you the sloping systems in the shower and see how that works. So from beautiful Hickory Nut Gorge in Western North Carolina, Chimney Rock in the background. If you haven't been down here since Hurricane Helene, Chimney Rock is still closed. It's basically June 1st. Lake Lure is open for business. Come on down and support the local businesses and have a blessed day.